Good evening and welcome to the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin for Monday, December 29, 2025. I'm Colin Abrams. In the headlines tonight, New Year plans shattered as mother of one killed in East Coast Demerara crash. Quincy Beard charged in one communications larceny case, granted $1 million bail. Tragedy in Ogle, putting man found dead on residence fence. 78,000 waiting as government moves to clear housing backlog nationwide. I came from money. Minister Rodriguez shuts down corruption rumors in fiery statement. Government scraps 35% tint. Public can now have 20%. And Surinamese man who killed 9, including 4 of his children, found dead in police custody. Now for the news in depth. What was supposed to be a season of celebration has turned into profound grief for a Cambridge family following the tragic death of 32-year-old Mathana Cambridge, a mother of one, who was killed in a motor vehicle accident on Sunday night. Adonna Doric visited the Grove East Coast Demerara residence of the deceased on Monday and filed this report.
Speaking in an exclusive interview with Ghana TV9, Mathana's mother Carol Cambridge said the family had been eagerly preparing for the new year when tragedy struck. Carol recalled the painful details that made the loss even harder to bear, noting that her daughter had already laid out her clothes to attend the neighbor's annual event.
We had plans for a lot of things for the new year. A lot of things we had planned for. Was to celebrate the new year, cook out and all these things. Because she even already take out her clothes because our neighbor annual event there, she already take out her clothes and leave it on her bed. It's right there.
Mathana leaves behind her 6-year-old son, her only child. The grieving woman said she will now assume responsibility for raising her grandchild, describing her daughter as a vibrant and well-loved individual. Carol said Mathana's personality drew people to her as she recalled the last moments spent with her child.
The last thing I said to my daughter, we were making jokes because she was helping to clear some water on this bridge, right? And I said to her, I said, "You too strong, man. Because look how you beg the Amma go into the trench." Yeah, that's it. And she was laughing. She said, "Lady, rest yourself, rest yourself." And then she left. I said she coming back.
And she never come back.
Yeah, she come back, but I was inside. And then she left again.
The grief-stricken woman said she was in total disbelief when she got the message that her daughter was involved in an accident.
I was taken aback a little when I got the message. But then at the same time, then I asked the brother to go. I said, "You go and see what happened." And then the little sister, she left and she go with it, go. And then she come back and she said to me, "Oh, Carol, Tana, and look nice." And she was crying. And then a friend came with a car with the other girl that was inside with her and said, "Might as well you go." And then I go with them. When I go to the hospital, I saw her there. She was already dead.
Mathana Cambridge, a 32-year-old self-employed resident of Grove, was driving her motor car, PAE 6337, west along the southern lane of the Greenfield Railway embankment at approximately 21 hours on Sunday, December 28, 2025. According to Ghana Police Force statement, the fatal sequence began when Cambridge swerved to avoid a herd of cows that had strayed onto the roadway. The sudden maneuver caused her to lose control, leading the vehicle to slam into a concrete light pole on the southern parapet before plunging into a nearby trench. While public-spirited citizens managed to pull Cambridge and her passenger, 27-year-old teacher Marissa Stemple, from the wreckage, Cambridge was pronounced dead on arrival at the Enmore Regional Hospital. Stemple sustained minor injuries and remained under medical observation. Adonna Doric, Ghana TV9 News.
After spending days in police custody, former One Communications accountant Quincy Beard appeared in court on Monday, where he was granted $1 million bail in connection with the alleged theft of more than $153 million from the telecommunications company. Described as one of the largest alleged internal theft at the telecommunications company, the accountant turned photographer now faces the court on charges of larceny by a clerk or servant. More in this report.
Former accountant at One Communications Quincy Beard appeared in court on Monday morning and was granted bail in connection with the alleged theft of more than $153.9 million from the telecommunications company. Beard, 37, who was in charge of accounts payable at One Communications, appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty, where he was charged with larceny by a clerk or servant. The charge relates to allegations that the theft occurred over a period of several years, dating back to July 2021. He was not required to enter a plea as the charge is indictable and was granted bail in the sum of $1 million. The matter has been adjourned to Wednesday, February 11, 2026, according to a statement from Ghana Police Force. As part of his bail conditions, Beard is required to lodge his passport with the court, have no contact with any employees of One Communications Ghana, and report to the Criminal Investigations Department headquarters every second Friday of each month. Beard was arrested last Wednesday and had been in police custody as the Criminal Investigations Department probed the alleged multi-million-dollar fraud. Police say the investigation was launched more than a year ago following an internal audit that uncovered what they described as an elaborate scheme involving the transfer of millions of dollars to ghost accounts and through a mobile money platform. Following the audit, Beard was dismissed from his position at the company, and a senior finance official was also forced to leave amid the fallout from the alleged fraud. Beard was arrested on Christmas Eve Day by the Ghana Police Force's Criminal Investigation Department in connection with the alleged theft from the One Communications. Police say investigations into the matter are ongoing. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
Ghana's National Housing Program is facing a backlog of more than 78,000 applications as demands for house lots allocations continues to outspace land availability, particularly in Region 4. According to the Housing and Water Minister Colin Crowell. Here's more from Faith Sandy.
Outlining government's plans to tackle the challenge nationwide, Minister Crow revealed that over the past 5 years, the government has allocated more than 53,000 house lots. However, more than 52,000 of the pending applications are concentrated in Region 4, largely due to population density and proximity to employment and economic opportunities.
We've said that we'll ensure to happen here, that is to work to clear our backlog in the system. What I refer here to, these are pending applicants that are in the system and that are awaiting an allocation. Over the last period, we would have allocated over 53,000. But yet, if you go back into our list of pending applicants, we have over 78,000 pending applicants as I speak. The largest block, however, continues to remain Region 4, and you'll understand and you'll recognize mainly because of the concentration of where the majority of the population live, and then previously seeking in Region 4 and proximity of economic opportunity for employment.
He assured that the government is committed to clearing 100% of pending applications in all other regions, while working aggressively to reduce the backlog in Region 4 as additional lands become available.
We are committing, therefore, that we will clear the backlog for all of the regions, except we'll be unable to do complete for Region 4. But that must be taken into context that of the 78,000 plus pending applicants, over 52,000 are from the Region 4 bracket. And so you'll recognize, as I just said, the largest volume of applicants are in Region 4.
To address the shortfall, Minister Kroll said the Ministry of Housing is collaborating with other relevant agencies, including the Guyana Lands and Survey Commission, NISIL, Gaisuko, and in Region 5, the Mahaika-Maikoni-Abari Agricultural Development Authority, MMA-ADA, to identify and release suitable lands for new housing developments.
Yes, we are continuously working to find land to engage with our partners in terms of Guyana Lands and Survey Commission, NISIL, Gaisuko, in Region 5 case, for example, MMA, to be able to acquire additional lands to address these backlogs.
The minister emphasized that clearing the housing backlog remains a priority under the government's wider development agenda, as efforts continue to expand access to land ownership and meet the growing demand for housing across Guyana. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
A grim morning discovery left the Ogle community in shock after a well-known resident was found lifeless in a harrowing position. Around 6:35 hours this morning, the body of 63-year-old Tejram Ramchandar, affectionately known as Pudding Man, was discovered suspended on the fence of his East Coast Demerara home. Police have cordoned off the area as they work to untangle the mystery of how Ramchandar ended up there. While his body was transported to the Georgetown Public Hospital, investigators are currently scouring the scene and interviewing neighbors to determine if this was a tragic accident or something more sinister occurred. More of the news after the break. Stay with us.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether the particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Celebrate Christmas the Guyanese way with 7 days of magic and adventure. Feel the streets come alive with lights, decor, and carols. Share in the delicious joy of favorites like pepper pot, black cake, and even ginger beer. Then explore Guyana's attractions, the majestic kite show, scenic tour on the Demerara Essequibo, and Mahaika rivers. 7 days, one unforgettable Christmas. Join us. Let's discover Guyana this Christmas.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025 and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not on the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the required original source documents: birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, birth certificate and marriage certificate for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Sunday, January 18, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027-8-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. You're watching the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin. In a fiery escalation of an already bitter public feud, Tourism Minister Susan Rodriguez has launched a scathing counterattack against businessman Azruddin Mohammed, vehemently denying his recent allegations and dramatically defending her personal wealth and public records. The minister's response has intensified the high-stake dispute that erupted after Mohammed questioned her property acquisitions and accused her of misusing state resources. More from Faith Sandy.
The conflict was ignited by a video circulated by Mohammed, the self-proclaimed incoming opposition leader, in which he challenged Rodriguez's property ownership, specifically a large apartment complex at Peters Hall, and alleged a two-tier system of land allocation favoring government officials. In a blistering statement posted online, Rodriguez did not merely refute the claims. She unleashed a barrage of personal and serious criminal accusations of her own. Minister Rodriguez reminded that national elections were held on September 1, 2025, and said the electorate delivered a decisive mandate to President Dr. Irfaan Ali and the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration. She described the allegations as politically motivated and said that they were being raised despite the outcome of the polls. Addressing claims about property ownership, the minister stated she owns multiple properties, none of which were acquired from the government of Guyana or through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHPA. She explained that all properties bearing her name were purchased from private individuals through formal agreements of sale, and said she can produce documentary evidence to support this. Minister Rodriguez also clarified that she is not the owner of the apartment building featured in the video circulated by Mohammed, nor the second property shown, noting that the latter was acquired in 2016 before she entered into government. On her financial disclosures, Rodriguez said she is a shareholder in several local and international companies, all of which have been declared to Integrity Commission. She maintained that she can account for her wealth and emphasized that it was acquired legally and transparently. In his video statement, Mohammed alleged that Rodriguez benefited from the allocation of multiple parcels of prime state land, while ordinary Guyanese wait years, sometimes decades, for house lots. He also questioned the financing of developments linked to properties shown in the video and claimed the situation reflects a two-tier housing system favoring government officials. Mohammed has called for international attention to what he described as corruption and misuse of public office. Minister Rodriguez, however, accused Mohammed of attempting to deflect from what she described as serious allegations made against him internationally, referencing reports by international media outlets including Reuters, and stating that these matters are reportedly of interest to United States authorities. She said the public deserves transparency and accountability and insisted that attempts to implicate others will not distract from the need for individuals facing allegations to answer to the relevant authorities. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
On Sunday, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa moved swiftly to address flooding in the Blackbush polder following more than 6 inches of rainfall over a 48-hour period, promising immediate intervention to protect farmers and residents. More from Adana Doric.
Speaking on site, the minister said heavy rainfall caused water to accumulate across large sections of the polder, particularly affecting cultivation and residential areas. He explained that he had been receiving constant updates from the regional vice chairman, prompting his decision to personally visit the area.
Today, the regional vice chairman reported that Blackbush was under water because of heavy rainfall. We have over 6 inches of rainfall fell over 48 hours. And because of that, the heavy amount of rainfall, the water would have accumulated. I had the vice chairman yesterday work along with him, and he was giving me regular updates. And I decided this morning to come myself to see what is happening. So what I have done, we will be making some immediate intervention.
As part of the emergency response, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority (NDIA) has been instructed to lock off water courses bringing excess water into the drainage system and accelerate the outflow from flooded areas. Additional pumps are being deployed at critical points, including number 43, while pumps at Adventure and Eversham are already operational. The minister also announced plans to bring in 4 to 5 additional machines to help impolder farmlands and remove standing water. Smaller pumps will be placed directly into farmers' plots, and NDIA will loan pumps to affected farmers while providing technical support to speed up drainage. Meanwhile, teams from the Guyana Rice Development Board, GRDB, the National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute, and the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, GLDA, are conducting field assessments to determine crop losses. Mustafa noted that rice farmers are not expected to suffer major damage, but some cash crop farmers have reported that their fields remain submerged.
In the meantime, GRDB, NARI, and GLDA are going around to see what are the condition and what losses farmer would have suffered. I don't think rice farmer would suffer any major losses. The cash crop farmer, however, some of them are complaining that their crops are underwater, and we'll be working to do an assessment to see what help we can give them.
The minister expressed concern over the tampering of drainage and irrigation structures within the polder, a long-standing issue in Blackbush. He urged farmers to desist from interfering with these systems and called on water users and the Neighborhood Democratic Council (NDC) to help monitor the infrastructure.
Culture where farmers normally tamper with these structures, and I'm hoping that the farmers themselves are complaining that other farmers are tampering. I asked them to help us to monitor the system. The water users plus the NDC, they will be working to help us monitor the system. But generally, some farmers, they're using the irrigation and the drainage canal as one to bring in irrigation and also drain from the same thing. That can work. And in future, we have to put mechanism in place that people should not. And I'm asking that farmers or whoever is tampering with the structure, they should desist immediately from doing those things.
He also disclosed that NDIA is investigating a report that a farmer who borrowed a government pump allegedly rented it out privately. "Quote unquote, we will find the pump and take the necessary actions," he assured. Looking ahead, Mustafa highlighted the importance of crop insurance in protecting farmers against increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. He said rice farmers affected during this crop cycle will receive compensation through the National Insurance Program, implemented in partnership with private insurers. Mustafa expressed confidence that the measures now underway will allow Blackbush polder to be drained effectively and in the shortest possible time, minimizing losses and bringing relief to farmers facing the brunt of extreme weather. Adana Dore, Guyana TV9 News.
Detectives on the west bank of Demerara are piecing together a brutal holiday weekend homicide. 75-year-old Athlon Goring, who had only recently returned to Ghana, was found early Boxing Day inside his Stanley Town home with multiple stab wounds. Though rushed to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, Goring was tragically pronounced dead on arrival. The investigation has moved swiftly, with police already taking a 20-year-old man and a 22-year-old woman into custody. Authorities are now leaning on CCTV footage from the area to confirm the final moments leading up to the attack. More news after the break. Stay with us.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. You are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether the particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. It is an offense to make false objections. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Thursday, January 22, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Channel 9 is now Guide TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guide TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Celebrate Christmas the Guyanese way with 7 days of magic and adventure. Feel the streets come alive with lights, decor, and carols. Share in the delicious joy of favorites like pepper pot, black cake, and even ginger beer. Then explore Guyana's attractions, the majestic kite show, scenic tour on the Demerara Essequibo, and Mahaika rivers. 7 days, one unforgettable Christmas. Join us. Let's discover Guyana this Christmas.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008-600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 building.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not on the PLE, apply for a transfer if you've changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the required original source documents: birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, birth certificate and marriage certificate for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Sunday, January 18, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027-8-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. You're watching the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin. The Ministry of Home Affairs, led by the Honorable Onish Walron, has announced revised vehicle tint regulations following national consultations and public feedback. The previous 35% tint allowance has been discontinued, and updated provisions now permit 20% tint within specified limits. Under the revised guidelines, 20% tint is permitted on the back windshield, 20% tint is permitted on the rear passenger windows, 25% tint is permitted on the driver's front row window and the front passenger side seat window. No tint is permitted on the front windshield. A visor strip, minimum 6 inches, is permitted at the top of the front windshield only. No visor allowed at the bottom. Motorists have up to December 31, 2025 to correct their tint in accordance with the revised requirements. These changes aimed to improve visibility, road safety, and enforce efficiency while reflecting the views expressed during public engagement. The Minister of Public Works has embarked on a sweeping modernization program to improve infrastructure in hinterland regions, enhancing connectivity, safety, and economic opportunities for communities across the country. According to the Honorable Kwan Edgell, Minister of Public Works, local residents are playing a direct role in these projects, participating in the construction of roads, airstrips, and other critical infrastructure in their communities. Here's more.
Key projects include the development of the Matthews Ridge Airstrip and the roads in Arakaka, Aishalton, Paramakatoy, and Monkey Mountain. These improvements are designed to link hinterland areas to the coast, reduce transportation costs, and support broader economic development. Significant progress has also been made in Region 2 and Region 1, where ferry services have been upgraded to reduce travel time. The MV Kanawaruk 1899 and other vessels now provide more frequent trips, allowing farmers and residents to transport goods efficiently. Plans are in place for an additional vessel to arrive by the end of January 2026, further expanding capacity.
We have already done work to get an alignment to use components and sections of the Demerara Harbour Bridge to link Leg 1 and Wakenham. So let me explain to you what happened. A ferry, rather than having to go down the river 2 hours, 90 minutes, depending on what's the weight and the tide, 10 minutes you can cross the Leg 1, drive straight through to Wakenham, connect with a ferry that is on a touch and go basis, and you're in Supernam. 24-hour access will be available to the people of Regions 2. The people of Region 1, because a lot of the people from Region 1 come through to Charity to travel down to Georgetown.
On the East Coast, ongoing projects include road improvements, housing developments, and enhancements to community safety. Efforts have been made to upgrade internal roads in previously unserved areas such as Crabwood Creek, Little India, Little Africa, and Portuguese Quarters, helping residents access schools, markets, and workplaces more easily. Minister Edgell emphasized that these infrastructure developments are strategic and purpose-driven, linking investments in roads, airstrips, and waterways to economic growth, tourism, and community well-being. These improvements also aim to increase property values, reduce congestion, and improve mobility for both people and goods.
Start positioning yourselves. Start examining closely how you can participate. Guyana, we must no longer be on a hustle. We must be intentional, strategic, and purpose-driven. And we should not be complaining about who came after us and got through. We should listen, evaluate, find out, go down to go invest, see what are the opportunities that are there. Engage the private sector bodies and the chambers of commerce in your various regions and understand with all of these opportunities how things are happening.
Additional projects include the construction of a modern terminal at Farica, designed to facilitate trade with CARICOM nations and upgrade the Linden to Suez Dyke Highway, as well as the 4-lane bridge linking Mackenzie and Wismar, which is expected to be completed by April 2026. Minister Edgell also highlighted the importance of community engagement and private sector participation in these projects. Citizens are encouraged to monitor development, provide feedback, and explore opportunities arising from the ongoing infrastructure expansion. The Ministry of Public Works reiterated its commitment to modernizing Guyana's transportation networks, ensuring safe and efficient access for all citizens while supporting economic growth, trade, and regional connectivity. Colin Abrams, Guyana TV9 News.
Turning to regional news, Suriname remains in shock after 43-year-old Dennis Aroma, accused of brutally stabbing 9 people to death, including 4 of his own children, in Kamawine district on Sunday, was found dead this morning in a jail cell at the Central Police Station in Kaiserstraat, in what authorities say was a suicide. The deadly rampage unfolded shortly after midnight on Hajj Idwing Samwag, prompting police intervention after reports of a knife attack. Officers encountered multiple victims and an injured 16-year-old girl who identified the suspect as her father. Police said Aroma resisted arrest and was shot in his leg to subdue him before being hospitalized and later placed in custody. Investigators confirmed that the victims included 5 other residents, ranging from young children to the elderly, while 2 additional persons remain hospitalized with serious injuries as the investigations continue. And that has brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to check out our Facebook and YouTube platforms at GOY TV9 for more trending stories. I'm Colin Abrams.